this title for me. But...
Step into the ring, fans. It's Main Event Reports, bringing you all the latest from WWE. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. The wrestling world has been thrown into chaos over the last 48 hours, and fans everywhere are talking about one of the most dramatic storyline twists WWE has delivered in years. Seth Rollins, the architect, the visionary, the man who built Monday Night Raw brick by brick, has reached an emotional breaking point after what's being portrayed on screen as a stunning act of betrayal. The moment wasn't subtle, it wasn't soft, and it wasn't something anyone saw coming. In a world where rivalries, alliances, and plot swerves happen weekly, this one hit the fandom with the force of a sledgehammer. And while this is all part of WWE's creative world, the tension, emotion, and believability behind every moment have left the entire WWE universe glued to their screens, wondering what happens next. Seth Rollins reaches his limit. For years, Seth Rollins has been the calm strategist, the character who always seemed 5 steps ahead, the one who never let emotions cloud his decisions. But in this storyline, those walls have crashed down, revealing a version of Seth that fans haven't seen before, raw, furious, unfiltered. According to the narrative unfolding on WWE programming, Seth has hit a point where he's no longer the visionary, but a man unraveling under pressure. Backstage segments have shown him pacing hallways, destroying props, yelling in frustration, and shutting out anyone who tries to talk to him. The commentary team sells it with a level of seriousness that makes the entire situation feel heavy, real, and personal, and fans are completely hooked by the emotional depth being showcased by one of WWE's top stars. Becky Lynch caught in the crossfire. At the center of this storyline shockwave is Becky Lynch, the big-time Bex, the woman who changed the landscape of women's wrestling forever. But in this narrative, Becky is not the villain or the victim. She's the catalyst for the emotional storm swirling around Seth Rollins. The creative twist, a misunderstood situation that spirals out of control, leading Seth to believe he's been betrayed by someone he trusted more than anyone. WWE has been careful to frame this as a miscommunication, not something malicious or scandalous. Instead of going for controversy, they're leaning into emotional storytelling. 2 people on camera whose careers have been intertwined, now caught in a swirling hurricane of doubt, pressure, and conflicting loyalties. The leaked footage that wasn't what it seemed. In the scripted storyline, the locker room begins buzzing when mysterious footage surfaces that appears to show Becky in a compromising situation. But here's the twist. It's all a setup. WWE's creative direction reveals that the clip was heavily edited, taken out of context, and orchestrated by a jealous rival trying to sabotage both Becky and Seth at the same time. This approach allows WWE to dive deep into dramatic territory without harming anyone's character personally or professionally. The leak becomes a plot device, not a scandal, and the tension centers on Seth reacting before knowing the truth, letting his emotions overpower his logic in a way that feels painfully human. Seth's meltdown becomes must-watch TV. The storyline escalates quickly as Seth spirals, convinced he's been betrayed. The on-screen reports show Seth smashing crates backstage, ripping apart segments of the production area, and even storming into meetings demanding answers. WWE portrays him as a man crushed not by infidelity, but by perceived deception and manipulation. It's a classic wrestling trope done with fresh emotional weight, an iconic hero losing themselves before rebuilding stronger. Fans online have praised Seth's acting, noting how convincingly he portrays heartbreak, confusion, and anger all at once. It's the kind of storyline that reminds people why they fell in love with wrestling, larger-than-life emotion grounded in relatable human struggle. A friend turns foe in the ultimate storyline twist. The heart of the drama is the reveal that the footage was fabricated by someone Seth trusted, a long-time ally, a respected wrestler, and a familiar face. This character twist shakes Seth's world even further, making him realize that the betrayal wasn't from Becky, but from someone who envied their success, their partnership, and their influence in the company. It's a brilliant creative choice because it redirects the conflict toward an external antagonist, protects the integrity of Becky and Seth's partnership, and sets the stage for a high-stakes feud that fans are already buzzing about. The reveal is designed to drop jaws, ignite outrage, and pull every viewer deeper into the unfolding saga. WWE Creative goes into overdrive behind the scenes. Within the storyline, WWE officials are scrambling. Commentary mentions emergency rewrites, producers trying to contain the chaos, and meetings lasting late into the night. This meta-storytelling tactic gives fans a peek into the creative frenzy of WWE without exposing anything real or harmful. The company is portrayed as trying to manage a volatile roster, shifting alliances and emotional turmoil that could explode on live television at any moment. It's compelling, dramatic, and grounded enough to keep fans invested without crossing into inappropriate territory. Becky Lynch stands her ground. In her own on-screen segments, Becky Lynch refuses to be portrayed as helpless or shaken. Instead, she demands answers, confronts the people involved, and pushes for the truth to come out. WWE presents her as strong, dignified, and unwilling to let misinformation ruin her reputation or her family. This version of Becky, the fighter, the leader, the unbreakable spirit, resonates deeply with fans. She's determined to clear the air, not through anger, but through honesty and resilience. It's a refreshing narrative choice that empowers her character and deepens the emotional stakes. The locker room reacts to the explosion. Within the storyline, the entire WWE roster becomes divided. Some side with Seth, understanding why he snapped under pressure. Others side with Becky, knowing her track record and refusing to believe she'd betray anyone. The tension backstage leaks into promos, matches, social interactions, and commentary in subtle ways. WWE uses this to build an immersive environment where every superstar becomes a piece on the chessboard, reacting to a scandal that threatens to unravel the roster's chemistry. It's drama at its finest, rooted in emotion, character, and career-defining decisions. A larger conspiracy unfolds, the biggest twist in the storyline, the realization that the fabricated footage wasn't the work of one jealous wrestler. It was part of a bigger plan. A small group of antagonists had been plotting to tear apart Seth and Becky's influence in the company, believing that removing them from the top would create opportunities for themselves. This layered conspiracy transforms the narrative from a simple misunderstanding into a saga of manipulation, ambition, and psychological warfare. And with Seth finally learning the truth, the stage is set for retaliation, not out of anger at Becky, but as an act of justice against those who deceived them. The emotional fallout and the road ahead. In the climactic final segment of the story, Seth Rollins confronts Becky publicly, not to accuse her, but to apologize, breaking down in front of thousands as he admits he let fear override trust. Becky forgives him, but not without making it clear that rebuilding won't be easy. The moment is handled with sincerity, respect, and emotional depth, showing WWE's commitment to telling a human story rather than relying on shock value. With the truth exposed, the real fight begins. Seth and Becky joining forces to take down the faction that targeted them. The beginning of a new era in storytelling. As the storyline moves forward, fans can expect explosive tag team matches, emotional promos, and a long-term arc that explores trust, redemption, and revenge. WWE's ability to turn a fictional personal crisis into a multi-layered main event storyline has reignited interest in the product, drawing viewers back with a blend of realism and larger-than-life drama. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch stand at the center of it all, not broken, not defeated, but ready to fight back harder than ever.